Coming up on the Northern Sun Showcase, it's a slam dunk, don't drive drunk. How a tragedy brought a community and a conference together. The first winter championship is in the books and the rest are ready to wrap up. We'll meet the perfect student athlete as well as the youngest president in the nation. And we'll drop another banner and fly high in the sky. Hold on tight, you're gonna flip when you see this. The Northern Sun Showcase is next. Thanks for dropping by the Northern Sun Showcase. With the Commissioner Butch Raymond, I'm Mike Woodley. So much to talk about: men's and women's basketball, wrestling, even some swimming and diving, track and field. But let's begin with what turned out to be a conference rallying behind a coach, his family, and a cause.
Well, Mike, in a night in July, unfortunately, Brad Bigler, the head men's basketball coach at Southwest Minnesota State, and his family was involved in a car accident in which their car was hit by a drunk driver. And the Bigler's son, 5-month-old Drake, was killed in that accident. One of the basketball coaches in our league, Paul Sather from Northern State, came to our office and said, let's rally behind this and try to make something good out of this tragedy. And so we contacted the NCAA. They put us in touch with an organization, team, it's called Team Coalition, Techniques Effective for Alcohol Management of Alcohol. And we put a program together that we called It's a Slam Dunk, Don't Drive Drunk. And what happened with this is that it started off with a video contest. We asked each of our schools, our 16 schools, their SAC committee, Student Athlete Advisory Committee, to submit videos that would be judged to come up with a conference winner.
There are some great videos, too, that came out of this, Butch.
Yeah, actually,
showing the talent of these student athletes.
They actually could submit more than one, which many of them did, 30 to 60 seconds length.
Let's take a look at the winner, which came from the University of Mary.
A college basketball coach is in the hospital with critical injuries.
He's also grieving for his 5-month-old baby boy, Drake, who died.
In July of 2012, an innocent life was taken in a drunk driving accident due to the irresponsibility of one person who decided to drink and drive.
At just 5 months old, Drake was taken from his parents, Brad and Heather Bigler.
Bad decisions like choosing to drink and drive don't just affect the lives of a close family. They affect the entire community.
But Butch, as big as the community outreach is the reaction, and actually getting all of the communities involved in this was really taking it to another level.
Well, the second part of the project was to have our SAC committee, our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, have people sign pledges with the idea that they would sign this pledge not to drive drunk, or to make sure that someone that was not doing that, someone else was not doing that. And so we selected the first 2 weekends in February, and the NCAA graciously came up with bracelets that we could give out to people that signed these pledges. So everybody had 2 home games in those 2 weekends. And Mike, the turnout was just amazing. There was a total of 12,500 pledges signed in all of our schools. We had a little contest to see who could sign the most, and we want to give credit to Southwest Minnesota State. They signed 1,337 pledges to be the overall winner. And we also had a little contest to see who could sign up the highest percentage of people at their contest. And that went to the University of Mary. They signed up 51% of the attendance of their 2 games on Friday and Saturday.
So this indeed really was an entire conference rallying behind a coach, his family, and a cause. And as a commissioner, that must make you proud to know that it's more than just athletics and even more than just academics. Sometimes it's being a part of the community.
Well, I think that's one of the things about the Northern Sun. It is fun to be a part of this league and to see them. I know the NCAA is hoping that we can make this a nationwide event, but we wanted the Northern Sun to have the first time to be able to do it.
All right, let's move to basketball, where a lot of hot, heated action in the men's and women's takes place this time of year, because we're getting ready to try and crown some champions, but there's a lot to be decided yet with just 2 weekends to go.
Again, Mike, with our 16 teams this year, we're in divisions, North and South. First time that we've had that, so we will be crowning a North champion, we'll be crowning a South champion, and an overall champion. So there'll be 3 championships, both on the men's and women's side. But wow, you know, we only have 2 weekends left, 4 games, but so many things could happen. It just, that's the way the commissioner likes to have it.
But with these games being so close, and really the difference between top and bottom of the conference being really week to week, let's talk about the expansion of the tournament this year, because this allows teams to have a chance to catch lightning in a bottle and get what we like to call March Madness.
Yes, one of the things the coaches wanted to do with us going into divisions, they wanted to have the opportunity for all 16 schools to be in the tournament. So we will be having a tournament of 16 teams. In other words, they're all going in. The tournament bracket will start on Wednesday, February 27th. We will have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 teams hosting. In the north, we'll host the number 6, 7, and 8, 5, 6, 7, and 8 in the south. So we're going to cross the brackets. As the same is true with the on the other side. And the women will be doing the same. And then on Saturday, March the 2nd, the 4 winners will play. And then eventually on March 8th and 9th, we'll take the semifinals into Rochester along with the finals on Saturday.
Well, certainly there's still plenty to play for. Home court is huge in this conference, but we're going to see everybody getting a shot to do something. I like the tournament format. I guess we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, it's a great idea, I think, and we're anxious to see how it's going to work. And I know the players, all the student athletes are excited about it. So let's cross our fingers it was a good thing.
Still plenty to come. We got a new sport to share with you, women's swimming and diving in the Northern Sun. We'll get to that and more when we continue on the Northern Sun Showcase.
The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, 16 schools, 18 sports, one common goal, athletic and academic excellence. Student athletes in the league compete and win NCAA national championships while learning the skills to compete and win in life. The NSIC has developed into one of the premier NCAA Division II conferences in the nation. The NSIC, win here, win in life. Learn more at northernsun.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We all train differently. It's about numbers. What works for you might not work for your teammates. The same thing goes for staying hydrated. As you compete, you sweat, and it leaves your body at a unique rate. At a certain point before the game's even over, you sweat so much that your performance suffers, unless your numbers are right. Through superior research, we've unlocked the formula to optimize those numbers. The math for you is simple.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer. You see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
I chose Division II because athletes graduate at a higher rate.
I can stay closer to home and be an important part of the community.
I chose Division II because I can double major
and take part in campus activities.
I chose Division II because classrooms are smaller.
Students have more time with their instructors.
And I can compete for a national championship. I chose Division II for all these reasons and more.
I chose
Division II.
As we keep you up to date on Division II athletics in the Upper Midwest here in the Northern Sun Showcase, Butch Raymond, let's welcome a new sport, women's swimming and diving, to the NSIC.
Yeah, Mike, we're really excited about this sport. We had our championship last weekend in Rochester. 4 of our schools, Minnesota State Mankato, Minnesota State Moorhead, Northern, and St. Cloud. And then in order to have a championship in the NCAA, you must have 6. So we went out and see if we could find some of what we call associated members, and we found 2 in the MIAA. We found Lindenwood and Nebraska Kearney, and 2 in the Great Lakes Valley, William Jewell, and also Truman. Now, by associated members, these would be schools that have the sport, but their conference doesn't have it. So they joined us in our championship, giving us 8, and it was just a wonderful, exciting event. And St. Cloud State was the winner of our first conference championship, and we congratulate them and Coach Jeff Hagley on a great job.
Also a lot of individual performances which you get a chance to look at, so you can see it went well, you might say, Commissioner.
Yeah, it went better than I thought, and it was just fun to be there and to see these student athletes. And we gave out some specialty awards besides the conference championship, and they'll go ahead and show them on the graphic we have right here.
And we would congratulate everybody for taking part in this first annual. Certainly the sport will continue to grow, and maybe more Northern Sun Conference teams will be joining in the future. We'll see how that plays out.
I think there's some schools that are thinking about it. It's just a matter of coordinating the facilities and different things like that they have on their campus.
Well, if there's a sport in the Northern Sun, and there are many that are recognized as one of the leaders in the nation, certainly wrestling is among them. You're going to find some of the best teams and wrestlers in Division II anywhere in the country right here in the Northern Sun, and we're seeing that play out again this year on the mat in the Northern Sun Conference.
Well, it's, again, this sport, when you look at what our schools are doing, it just kind of wet your lips and say, let's sit back and see what happens. But we have yet to determine our championship, which comes on the duels. Every school wrestles each other. We have two schools that are undefeated and will wrestle against each other this coming week to determine who the champion's going to be.
That's number 1 and number 10
yeah,
in
St.
the
Cloud
nation.
State, Minnesota State, Mankato, right.
So the top wrestlers from Super Region 3 leave the Northern Sun all the way to the national championships. That's at a sports festival this year, Butch.
It is. It's March 8th and 9th in Birmingham, Alabama, and they take, it's a brand of Division II, the only division that does that. It's a spinoff of the Olympics, and we take our winter sports and go in there. Our swimmers and divers will be represented. Actually, February 20th, they will be selected by the times that we have, and hopefully many of ours will qualify for that. But swimming and diving, indoor track and field, and wrestler, all of them will be part of the sports festival.
Well, certainly we encourage you to keep online to watch the website for updates on wrestling. Also, track and field. We have to get into that because a lot of that's underway, and we're seeing some of the multis wrapping up with championships.
Well, we've had the pentathlon, which is the women's multi, and the heptathlon, which is the men's multi. Chanel Miller from the University of Minnesota Duluth was the champion of the heptathlon, of the pentathlon, and Nathan Hancock from Minnesota State Mankato was the champion in the heptathlon.
And for Nathan Hancock, this was the one of the best, third best mark by a Division II athlete all year. So congratulations.
Yeah, right. And Chanel's now, currently, without some other conferences to go yet, she's got the second best mark in the United States.
And that all leads, of course, to the championship set for Friday and Saturday, February 22nd and 23rd at Minnesota State Mankato.
Yeah, what a marvelous facility they have, and their administration does a wonderful job of hosting our championship. So we really appreciate that.
Well, one thing about the Northern Sun Conference, occasionally in Division II you can see a 3-sport athlete, and occasionally they could be all conference in those 3 sports. But 4 sports, all conference, all I can say is wow. Nick Cornder has the story.
Michaela Barando knew early during her high school career that Northern State would be the spot for her.
I grew up in Frederick, South Dakota, which is really close to Aberdeen. So I went to a lot of the NSU basketball games growing up, and just being a part of that atmosphere seemed like something I really wanted to do.
She chose Division II for a reason, for an opportunity to compete in more than one sport.
Coach Fredrickson contacted me after watching me play at some summer tournaments and things like that. Coach Fuller contacted me about track, and it was going to be one of the few Division II schools that was willing to let me participate in 2 sports. So the original plan was just basketball and outdoor track, but once Coach Bierke took over the head cross-country position, he talked to Coach Fred, and I was able to do cross-country conference meet, which I'm not sure why Coach Fredrickson changed his mind about cross-country, but I'm really glad he did.
Barando was a standout on the women's basketball team, the cross-country team, and the indoor track and field team, while excelling in the classroom. She became the first NSU athlete to earn Capital One Academic All-American twice, and she did it in the same year.
It's a really neat honor just to be able to be focused in the classroom as well as on the court. I hope inspires a lot of people growing up, not just to worry about athletics, but also the academic aspect.
Barando holds a 4.0 GPA as an English major and received the Miles Brand All-Academic with Distinction Award this spring. On the court, she scored over 1,000 points for the Wolves basketball team, even after missing a large chunk of her junior season with a knee injury.
I'd never really had to sit out before in my entire life, so definitely gave me a different perspective. It was a good experience to be able to cheer on my team and contribute to my team in a different way.
She rebounded from the injury to earn NSIC All-Conference honors in basketball, cross country, and outdoor track and field. And this winter, she has a chance to make it a 4-sport during the indoor track and field season.
For me personally, it would be a great way to just kind of finish my career at Northern, to finish on a high note after having such a good year and then struggling for a couple years. Just to get back to that competitive level would personally be great.
As if holding a perfect GPA and competing in multiple sports is not enough, Barando also co-hosted the NSU campus TV show last year, Tracking the Wolves, interviewing other student athletes and coaches.
Welcome to Tracking the Wolves, the one, the only sports show at Northern State. I'm Michaela Barando.
Tracking the Wolves was a great experience. One of the downsides of being an athlete and so focused on academics is you are very focused and you have such a set mindset and planned everything out, and Tracking the Wolves gave me a chance to just kind of let loose and kind of fly by the seat of my pants and just have fun with things.
And her plans for after college? The same as any other graduate.
Get a job. I hope to get a teaching job somewhere. And ideally I would eventually work into a coaching position, basketball, track, and cross country, of course.
There's a young lady with a big future, Butch.
I'm not sure I should say this, Mike, but, you know, I'm going to be cheering for her to be all-conference as the commissioner in 4 sports.
Well, she's quite a young lady and quite an athlete, too. We wish her the best. Certainly stick around as we're going to continue. We got plenty ahead here on the Northern Sun Showcase.
So, what kind of financial help are you looking for? Maybe you need insurance to help protect you. Benefits to help your business reach new heights. Or a retirement plan to invest for the future. Then again, maybe there's someone who can help with all of those things. The Principal Financial Group will give you an edge.
The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, 16 schools, 18 sports, one common goal, athletic and academic excellence. Student athletes in the league compete and win NCAA national championships while learning the skills to compete and win in life. The NSIC has developed into one of the premier NCAA Division II conferences in the nation. The NSIC, win here, win in life. Learn more at northernsun.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer. You see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
Well, the Northern Sun Conference has afforded many young coaches opportunities to grow into their positions and do very well. Many of them have. Well, in this case, the University of Mary has a young man stepping into some big shoes.
The conference is led each year by one of the presidents/chancellors of the Northern Sun. Their term runs from July 1st to June 30th. We have 2 in-house meetings during the year, of which they run the meeting. And this year, Father Shea from the University of Mary is our president. And as we go through the year, Mike, there's not going to be a chance that he's going to be involved in this pope, is there?
Let's learn more about Father Shea.
Meet Father James Shea, the president of the University of Mary and the youngest university president in the nation.
I was announced at the age of 33. I was inaugurated at the age of 34. I'm 37 today. I'm still the youngest college or university president in the country.
He grew up about 40 miles from the university in Hazleton, North Dakota.
From Hazleton, I went to college for a little bit in North Dakota, and then I joined the seminary, and I studied for the priesthood both in Washington, D.C. and at the Vatican in Rome. And then afterward, I came back. I served as a priest here in western North Dakota, and then 3.5 years ago, I became president of the University of Mary. I was trained to be a priest. I was trained to be a parish pastor, to take care of people who were sick, to perform marriages, to preach on Sundays, to care for young people. That's what I was trained to do.
When he was named the president of the University of Mary, The Marauders were already in their third year as a member of the NSIC. Shea felt they were in good position.
In 2006, when we decided to move from NAIA to NCAA Division II and to join the Northern Sun, that was a real important moment for the university. It was a bold decision and a risky one. We were positioning ourselves as the only Division II school in the state of North Dakota. We were stepping away from competitors who were relatively close to us. The fact of the matter is that what it's done for our campus, the way that it's enlivened our athletic program, the commitments that it's asked us and invited us to make to be a part of Division II athletics have been all for the good.
Part of the success is the membership of the NSIC.
One of the wonderful things about being part of the Northern Sun is it means that we're on television and in the newspapers all over Minnesota and eastern South Dakota. That's no small thing. That's a great market for us. We get to play in the same arena with some of the great schools in our whole region, and that's a great honor to be able to match our teams and our young men and women up against such a high level of excellence.
The successful move from the NAIA to the NCAA Division II has helped the exposure of the university as well.
Here we are in the middle of North Dakota. Being a part of Division II NCAA athletics is really wonderful because it allows us, it leverages us to be able to bring in students from really all over the country, which is an enhancement to our diversity, both ethnically and geographically. All sorts of new perspectives get mixed into our student body in a really profound way. And of course, the leadership that student athletes naturally assume on a campus really comes to the fore.
For the past year, Shea has been the leader of the NSIC.
As president of the board of directors, I serve as the chairman, and so what we do is when we come together, I convene the meetings and I conduct the business. We operate in a very collegial manner. You can imagine sitting at a table with a bunch of presidents that people have something to say. It's a very collaborative relationship that all of the presidents have, and we sit around and we get real business done.
Shea also works closely with the NSIC office and Commissioner Butch Raymond.
It's a joy to work with him. He certainly knows his business. He knows what it is to lead the Northern Sun. He always is keeping close track of the successes of our schools and reminding us of how, as a conference, we're succeeding as a group, because the level of competition in the Northern Sun is as good or better than any other place in the country.
But even with the success of the schools in the league, it all comes down to the individual student athlete and what athletics can do for them.
It can be a real driver for excellence. It can be an arena in which young men and women can find a type of character formation, a type of strengthening of the will and the mind and the heart that they're not able as easily to find elsewhere. It also provides an opportunity for young men and women, some of whom might not envision themselves as being able to go to college. It provides those young men and women, those student athletes, with the hope and the motivation to get a college degree.
What a young man.
And a very talented leader. He's doing a wonderful job for the Northern Sun.
Stick around. Plenty to come. In fact, we'll raise the banner and look back at a Northern Sun team with national honors coming up on the Northern Sun Showcase.
I chose Division II because athletes graduate at a higher rate.
I can stay closer to home and be an important part of the community. I chose Division II because I can double major
and take part in campus activities.
I chose Division II because classrooms are smaller.
Students have more time with their instructors.
And I can compete for a national championship. I chose Division II for all these reasons and more.
I chose Division II.
We all train differently. It's about numbers. What works for you might not work for your teammates. The same thing goes for staying hydrated. As you compete, you sweat, and it leaves your body at a unique rate. At a certain point before the game's even over, you sweat so much that your performance suffers, unless your numbers are right. Through superior research, we've unlocked the formula to optimize those numbers. The math for you is simple.
The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, 16 schools, 18 sports, one common goal, athletic and academic excellence. Student athletes in the league compete and win NCAA national championships while learning the skills to compete and win in life. The NSIC has developed into one of the premier NCAA Division II conferences in the nation. The NSIC, win here, win in life. Learn more at northernsun.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
The The Northern Sun Conference has racked up 12 national championships since 2006, and a volleyball team, Concordia, has done about half of that damage, or they actually have done half that damage, Butch.
Well, this was, unveiling of the banner. It's fortunately for me, it's the 6th one I've gotten to go through, but each of them is special. I still get goosebumps as I think about it. This one was highlighted by a proclamation read by U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. It was the same proclamation that she presented on the Senate floor in Washington, D.C., and a very, very touching evening.
Congratulations to the student athletes. An outstanding, unbelievable job for Concordia St. Paul in volleyball. Well, certainly the fan experience is something that every school is trying to continue to do better and better, and Minnesota State University Moorhead has some fun things and some very interesting, intriguing things going on campus.
Well, first of all, I think it's just an example of the facilities that we have in the Northern Sun and how each of our schools is improving or making them better, and certainly this is a welcome addition at MSU Moorhead. Looking at this fanogram, I hope my 4 grandsons are not watching, or I know what they're going to want for Christmas next year.
Not only a new court, but a fan cam. Let's learn more about it from MSU Moorhead.
The Valley Imports hover cam is kind of cool. It does flips, it flies around, and it's something that fans can watch when there's the dead time in play. And it's fun and it's exciting, and you just don't know what it's going to do, and so it really adds to that experience.
The sponsor sat down, Valley Imports, and said, "Do you have any crazy ideas?" And I pitched him the hover cam, and yes was his answer. And so we got it. We flew it around for a while just to kind of get used to the controls, which were pretty easy to pick up, just forwards and backwards, and getting everything to kind of come up with some shots that we wanted to get. And we're continually looking for new ways to use it in our facility and try to use it outside or in the pool, just to find a unique camera angle that you wouldn't be able to get with anything else.
When you start to look at what we've done with the Valley Imports hover cam, the sideline seatings, some of the use of social media and in-game promotions, those are things that anybody can do whether they have a video board or not. And so that's one reason why I'm so excited about what our staff has been able to pull together. We're fortunate that we've got some of the high-end technology that it directly integrates with and really just adds to the overall game day experience.
It's very easy to use. You use this little joystick and left, and it pans left. You turn it right, it turns right. You go straight up. You can go straight down, straight up, turn it any way you want. And then when you hold this side and tilt it, it goes away from you. Or you go this way, and it comes towards you. And you let go, and it just pretty much stops on a dime. Then we broke it out in the first couple of games, and fans just watched it fly around. They didn't know whether to watch it fly around or look up at the video board and see what it was seeing, and give fans an extra angle that they've never seen before, something new and fresh that not everybody does.
We covered so much on the show, but we didn't even get to baseball, softball, and all the other things going on, tennis.
Well, that's because they're just getting going and not so much here in Minnesota, but they'll be coming home soon.
And baseball in the Dome this weekend, too, if you want to get out and watch the Northern Sun. 24/7, go to the website, northernsun.org. Links to the member schools, scoreboard features, everything you want right there. Also, Facebook and Twitter. Stay up to date. And for the Commissioner, Butch Raymond, I'm Mike Woodley. Thanks for staying in tune with Division II Athletics and the Northern Sun Showcase.